G'day beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another edition of A Bogan's Opinion. Today I want to talk about something that Freak and I have named the Silver Ego. But first, before we get started, I would like to preface everything that I'm about to talk about by saying to all you Silver Elos that I love you very much and I have no problem with you. And what I'm about to say may not and probably does not apply to you. I'm talking about specific players with a specific attitude. So before we actually go on to that specific player and specific attitude, let's talk a little bit about Silver Elo in general. A lot of Silvers are brand new players and the rest are just unfortunately able to rise into gold for whatever reason. We won't get into those reasons too much. It's my experience that Silvers, or at least most of them, are extremely aggressive. They will almost always rotate to kill the enemy team whenever an opportunity presents itself, even if that means that they lose 2 towers in the process. Now, a lot of the time this hyper-aggressive behavior actually pays off, as those kills provide card points, which gives them more power, which gives them more kills, and it just snowballs from there. A lot of these silver players enjoy their time playing Paragon so much that they strive to learn and become better players. They learn the importance of wards, they learn how to build a better deck. They learn a lot and they climb out of silver into gold and they stay there. But for some, like a guy that we played with yesterday, the guy we're going to talk about, they generate what I can only describe as being a god complex, or as us Aussies like to call it, little big man syndrome. The Silver Ego is what this guy has. And the Silver Ego is a reference to all-stars like this guy that I mentioned. He got insanely salty in our draft as he was asked not to play Kai because Kai, as a lot of you might know, isn't very good at higher elos, which was what he was going to be up against, as Freak and I are platinums and Paragon tries to balance teams, so we were at least going to be up against gold. I didn't get a chance to explain this to him, however, because this guy's response, after telling me to fuck off, was to tell me that he was going to carry us. I knew then that I was dealing with the not-so-rare Silver Ego. So the match starts and Captain Kai decides that because he hated me for speaking ill of his beloved Kai, that he would join me in offlane so I couldn't get the head start on XP that I'm supposed to get. So I decided to leave him in offlane and farm the jungle. This was apparently not okay either, as he quickly came over and started to steal it from me. From here on, he got himself killed on multiple occasions by starting fights that he couldn't win while enemy heroes were missing, which it turns out was because they were rotating over to smash his face in. Multiple times he was killed in his own jungle and blamed all of us because we weren't able to rotate quick enough to save him. The problem with that is A, you can't and most of the time shouldn't rotate to save a player that gets ganked by 3 people and has no escapes. B, by this point none of us really wanted to save him. And C, if you get ganked in your own jungle, there is only one person to blame. You. If it happens once, fair enough. Maybe even fair enough if it happens twice. But if it happens 4 times, why the fuck haven't you started warding your own jungle? Seriously. At one point I was told that I was absolutely useless as I copped my 2nd death while trying to defend our mid tier 2 tower, which I did, in fact, save, even though he had 10 deaths at this point. I'd like to point out that at this point I had less deaths than anyone on my team, the most kills and by far the most last hits. I was also responsible for 4 of the 5 towers that we destroyed, so clearly just been waiting all game to make fun of the guy that shat on his favourite hero. Funny fact, Iggy and Kai are 2 of my 3 favourite heroes, and I hate the fact that they suck, but they do. So I've talked about this guy long enough, I think. Don't want to give him too much airtime. Time to talk about why he, along with a lot of other silvers, have this attitude. And I personally think it's because of their experience. When you play in the lower elos, you'll notice that there are a lot more team fights and a lot of the shittier heroes are actually viable. Players that are pretty skilled who are in the silver end up with a massive god complex because they can play Kai or someone like Kai and do well against someone like Iggy and Scorch. Just because you shit on the player that aren't skilled enough to get out of silver, or that don't play enough to learn, or are just unlucky enough to constantly have bad teammates, does not make you a god. does however provide me with a good bit of entertainment watching you run headfirst at the enemy ADC and being stunned by Steel, who was nearby waiting to defend his teammate that is now deleting you. The problem with people that have this attitude is that they hinder everyone, including themselves. Actually, they probably hinder themselves more than anyone. I highly doubt that these people will make it any higher than low gold because they just don't care and they don't really want to learn. They're just gonna, if they do manage to get out of silver, they're just gonna plummet straight back down into silver anyway. And like I said, the problem is because they don't want to listen. They don't want to listen to you. They don't want to listen to me. They don't want to listen to anyone. They won't listen when you tell them to pick a better hero. They won't listen when you tell them not to lock in a second ADC. They won't listen when you try to tell them that your team would be better off if you covered a different lane. They won't listen when you try to organize tactics. They won't listen to build suggestions. They just won't listen. Okay, so I think you may get the idea. So how does someone like this change? First of all, they need to realize that Paragon isn't a TDM. It's not a team deathmatch. It's a MOBA. It requires a lot of tactics, skill, and teamwork to get to the higher tiers and stay there. They need to learn that some fights are just too risky, and there is no shame in retreating. They need to learn that above all else, map awareness and vision are extremely important. They need to learn that when you make a mistake and get shat on, it is your fault, not your team's. Above all else, they need to realize that they just aren't that good. That may seem a bit rough, but Paragon is a teamwork-orientated game. Sure, having a super skilled ranger on your team can help you win team fights, but if they don't have a decent team behind them, chances are they're going to get shut down over and over and over. If you do ridiculous things after proclaiming yourself a god that will carry his team, that you told to fuck off, to victory, then how do you expect your teammates to even care if you live or die? You will just be receiving those sarcastic good jobs. What you need to do is realize that no matter how strong you think you are going to be so much stronger with a supportive team behind you. How do you get that supportive team? Stop thinking that you are the be-all and end-all of everything. You are not that good. Well, that was a quick little talk about the silver ego. Hopefully that actually catches on, because as freaking I think it's fucking awesome. I'd love to hear what you think. Are you in silver? Do you have to deal with these people often? Are you one of these people? Do you not agree with anything that I have said? Don't have a problem hearing anything at all in the comment section down below. Just let me know what you think. But if you did like this video, please smash that like button and subscribe for more Paragon content. We'll probably in a couple of days I'll go over golds. Golds are a weird bunch, and we'll be talking extensively about golds. I don't really have an issue with a lot of silvers. It's just this rare breed of, or not so rare breed really, of silvers that just, they really get my goat. So I thought we would talk about them first. But like I said, in general, silvers and bronzes are the better of the community, in my opinion. I have not had too much to do with many diamonds. The diamonds that I do know of through the Oceanic Discord can be kind of toxic. They're kind of so far up themselves it's not funny, but I'm not actually certain whether they make up the majority or how rare that actually is, so I'm not going to speak about that. But I do know a lot about golds, and I do know a fair amount about platinums, and I'm not really looking forward to talking about the platinums. But we will get there. Until then, I will have I'll actually be posting a full round that I played yesterday with Mr. Freak. I was playing as, I believe, Howitzer. And we were on the team of a very disgusting individual that couldn't handle the fact that Freak was having a little joke with the other members of the draft, just poking fun and just being silly. And he kind of said something stupidly disgusting, so we kind of made fun of him just to each other for the rest of the match. None of this making fun of him through chat and telling him he's fucking shit, because that doesn't help anyone. But hopefully you might get a little bit of giggle out of that. That's what I'm going to be doing for full rounds from now on. The majority of them are going to be me and Freak just fucking about, a little bit of banter, and then we're going to be having some build guides obviously by myself, and I will also be doing some more saltiness. But like I said, that'll be coming out next, and then we'll move on to gold. That's all I gotta say. So as per usual, thank you so much for watching. I love your face, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.